Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janin, and thank you so much for being here. And today I want to talk to you about money. Now, I want to tell you a story. That's a true story. I was in the store recently, a store that I go to quite often for shopping, food, household items, things like that. And when I went to go check out, this cashier looked really sick. She looked like she was just having a miserable day. You could see it in her face. She looked like she was in a lot of pain, and she just wanted to go home and lay down. And she was just had that look on her face that she was like, why am I here? I feel really terrible. So I asked her. I usually try to talk a lot with the cashiers and try to ask them how they're doing. I always greet them really well because they really have a hard job dealing with customers all day, because sometimes customers can be kind of mean. And so I asked her if she was feeling okay, and she says no. She was feeling really, really sick, and she was just feeling really miserable. And I asked her, I said, well, why don't you just go home if you're feeling that bad? And she said, I just can't afford to go home and not work. She needed the money. And I don't remember what I said to her after that, but I felt really bad for her. I thought, wow, her financial situation must be so bad that she can't even take a day off or go home if she's that sick. Because sometimes when we wake up in the morning and we're not feeling good, we think, it's okay, we can push through it. And you try to go about your day, but then there comes a certain point, right, where you just feel like you're going to pass out or you're going to die or whatever you're feeling. But I felt really bad for her that she was so sick, but her financial situation didn't allow her to go home. I mean, I don't know if she had run out of sick leave, or she didn't have any vacation time, or or she used it up, or she didn't have any, or she was saving up for something else. I don't know. I didn't ask those kind of personal questions, but I just thought, wow, what a way to live. And I just thought, I feel sad that she has to deal with this, and continue working, because I don't know. I didn't ask her how long more she had to work, how long her shift was, or anything. But I want to talk about that, because are you in that situation where your finances are so tight that you can't even go home from work when you're sick? And if it is, I want to invite you to take a look at your finances. Like, what is it that you need help with? Do you track your finances? Do you keep a running log of all your spending? Did you actually make a list of all your expenses each month? Rent or mortgage, food, insurance, gas, if you have a car, all those kind of things. You have to take inventory of your finances. Now, we live in a day and age where everywhere you look, people want you to buy something. They want you to spend your money, and it's everywhere, on TV, on the internet, it's at the stores, everywhere you go. It's all about spending money, right? And so sometimes it's really nice to spend money, and I encourage you to buy something nice for yourself. But if you're not in a financial situation to do that, I would say, stop all spending and track your finances. Write everything out on a piece of paper. I talk about this all the time. There's something that happens in your brain when you actually physically write it out on paper with a pen or a pencil versus just putting it in your phone. And most people don't even keep track on paper. They just think, I've had a lot of people tell me it's okay. I just go online and I log into my bank and that they bank at, and whatever the balance is, I figure, okay, that's my balance. And that's the worst thing you could ever do, because that is not always 100% accurate. And sometimes when you make purchases, it doesn't post to your account immediately, right? Sometimes certain transactions take a little bit of time, sometimes hours, sometimes a day. You know, every bank is different. You should never rely on your mobile app or going online to check your balance. You should always keep a running log of your spending or what's getting deducted out of your account if you have automatic deductions to pay your bills. And you know, there are times when the utility companies have messed up, or the cell phone companies have charged you a different amount than you thought. So you need to track everything that you spend. You also need to keep track of all the income that comes in, because you have to look at the income that is coming in, and then you have to look at all the expenses and all your spending each month. Are they balanced, or is one, like, you know, more than the other, right? Is your spending more than what you're making? Things like that. Now, I know that a lot of people don't like dealing with their finances. They think it's a pain in the neck. They just think, you know, it causes them a lot of stress or grief. But in order to avoid things like this poor girl, this cashier at the store, she couldn't afford to go home. But of course, I don't know her financial situation. I don't know if she keeps track of her finances or any of that. I don't know any personal information. But, you know, do we have a little bit of backup? Do we have a little bit of saving so that if that day comes that we get sick and you have to take off, you know, do you have extra cash laid on the side, saved on the side, so that you can go home? Or if you have a family member, whether it be a spouse or a child or a mother or father, that something happens, and you know, what if there's an emergency that somebody calls you? I mean, you know, we don't want those kind of things to happen, but they do happen in people's lives. Emergencies happen all the time in families. So are you in a situation where you can tell your boss, okay, I have an emergency, I need to go? You know, can you afford to go? And I would encourage you to please write down all your expenses and all your spending and your income, and put a little money on the side that you have for backup for any situation that might come up. We all have unexpected things that happen in life, and that's part of life, right? But do this for yourself, and it's not for anybody else. This is for you. I encourage you to make these preparations, because you don't want to get caught in that situation. And you know, who knows, right? We don't know if this girl really loves her job and she's worried about job security. And you know, if you're at a job where you need that income, you want to be able to make sure that you have that, you can keep your job and not have to worry about going home because you're sick, for other reasons too, right? But I wanted to make you aware of these things, that this happens all the time. I've heard this before, where even when I had a full-time job in a working place, I've had other coworkers, you know, say that they can't go home, they don't have, you know, enough vacation time or sick time, they don't have enough money to back up them leaving early, things like that. So it's happening, and I think now people are more stressed out about money. But if you just keep track of it, then at least you have a peace of mind that you know, okay, in my bank account right now, you can look at it on your paper. Okay, right now I have such and such dollar amount. That gives you the peace of knowing, okay, so I don't have to worry, because I know how much money I have in my account, how much I'm spending, how much I'm bringing in. But I can't stress that point enough. Please, please, please track all of it. And keeping track is really important, not only for your finances, but for you, like finances keeps people up at night. I hear that all the time. People stress out about money. And a lot of people are afraid of not having a job or being homeless. You know, there's like a million different reasons why people stress out about money. But take the necessary steps to be aware of what you have so that you don't have to stress out all the time, and make that necessary preparation and do the work. It's worth it, because you know, at night we want to be able to sleep and not be up at night stressing and tossing and turning, and then you wake up in the morning and then you feel horrible. So please do all the necessary things to take care of your finances. You know, nobody's financial situation is perfect. We all have to learn and grow, and we get better, but you can't get better at your finances if you don't track it and watch what's coming in and going out. So I thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this channel. I want to share all the things that I know with you to help better your life. And these are all the things that I've learned by talking with people, and I used to work in the bank many years ago. So I have a lot of experience with banking and with money and things like that. But please share this video with anybody you know who would get great value out of it. I would really appreciate it. And I do have a 20-minute complimentary session that if you'd like to work with me and see how I can help you, click on the link in this video. I'd be more than happy to help you and get in contact with you. And I hope you have a great day. Aloha.